Okay, so when you think of Los Angeles, this is probably what pops into your head, right? Sunshine, palm trees, the whole city of stars vibe. It's this perfect picture of a modern paradise built on glamour and dreams. But that's not the whole story. It's not even close. Because what if I told you this is also Los Angeles from just about a century ago? Yeah, it looks less like a vacation spot and more like some kind of industrial wasteland. So how on earth does a city transform that completely? Well, the answer is buried in a history that was, deliberately paved over and pretty much forgotten. So let's get into it. We're going to uncover the story of how this dusty, super violent outpost in the middle of a desert basically defied all logic to become the megacity we know today. Welcome to the secret origin of Los Angeles.
Long before it was a global icon, LA had a much different reputation, a much darker one. The sunny paradise you see today is really a carefully crafted lie, one that was built right on top of a place once called the hellhole of the West.
To really get how unlikely LA's rise was, you have to picture California back in the 1850s. On one hand, you had San Francisco. It was booming, just dripping with gold rush money. People were calling it the Paris of the West. And then there was Los Angeles, a forgotten backwater. Basically just mud, cattle, and a whole lot of trouble. And when they called it crooked, they were not kidding. The violence was just staggering. Think about this. With only a few thousand residents, the city averaged one murder a day. This wasn't a place for dreamers. It was a place you were lucky to get out of alive. The town's entire economy, the whole thing, was based on cattle. And then a massive drought hit in the 1860s and wiped the industry out completely. So logically, that should have been it, right? Los Angeles should have become a ghost town. But it didn't, because a few very powerful people decided to sell a dream instead of just accepting reality.
So what do you do when you can't fix the reality of a place? Simple. You change the marketing. LA's boosters launched one of the most successful branding campaigns in history, and it was all built on a simple, beautiful, and totally misleading idea: the orange.
And the timing, it couldn't have been more perfect. The Transcontinental Railroad had just reached Southern California, and this insane price war broke out between competing lines. At one point, you could buy a ticket from Kansas City all the way to LA for a single dollar. Suddenly, almost anyone could afford to head west. You could honestly call this the original Instagram versus reality. The reality was a dusty, violent town with almost no water. But the marketing? Oh, the marketing promised a citrus paradise, a health spa where endless sunshine could cure whatever was wrong with you. They'd send these beautiful orange crate labels back east, and people bought it. And did it work? Oh boy, did it work. The campaign was a jaw-dropping success. In just 10 years, from 1880 to 1890, the city's population exploded, more than quadrupling, as people just flooded in, chasing that dream of sunshine and oranges. But look, you can't build a real city on marketing slogans alone. To become a metropolis, Los Angeles needed two basic things it just didn't have: fuel and water. And the way it got them was through a wild combination of incredible luck and sheer brute force. Two key events changed everything. First, in 1892, a prospector named Edward Doheny literally strikes oil right near where Dodger Stadium is today. Then, about 20 years later, the massive Los Angeles aqueduct opens, finally solving the city's water crisis. These two things, black gold and stolen water, they're what forged the modern city. And LA didn't just become some little oil town, it became an oil superpower. Turns out, the city was sitting on one of the biggest oil fields in the country. By the 1920s, get this, Los Angeles was producing a quarter, 1/4 of the entire world's oil supply. It's just incredible. And here's the secret. The oil never left. The city just got really, really good at hiding it. If you look closely today, you can find active oil wells disguised as windowless office buildings. There's even an active oil field right underneath a famous shopping mall. LA is still an oil town. It's just hiding in plain sight. So with all this new oil money, LA finally had the cash to solve its fatal flaw, the lack of water. And they did it by going 250 miles away to a thriving farming community in the Owens Valley. Through a series of pretty shady deals, they bought up the water rights and built an aqueduct that literally drained the valley dry, all to quench LA's thirst.
The man behind this incredible engineering feat was William Mulholland. At the aqueduct's grand opening in 1913, as water from the Owens Valley finally came rushing into the San Fernando Valley, he said 5 of the most famous and, frankly, ruthless words in California history. There it is, take it. But Mulholland's triumph didn't last. In 1928, another dam he designed, the St. Francis Dam, catastrophically collapsed. A literal wall of water just ripped through the valley below, killing over 400 people. It was one of the worst civil engineering disasters in American history. It completely ended his career, but the city he helped build, well, its future was now secure.
Okay, so we have oil in the ground and water in the pipes. The city is set for its final transformation into the entertainment capital of the world. And believe it or not, this all happened basically by accident. It wasn't about glamour, it was about getting away with a crime. The real reason early filmmakers flocked to LA was pretty simple. They were on the run. See, Thomas Edison, back on the East Coast, held all the patents for movie cameras, and he would send these guys, enforcers, to smash any equipment that wasn't his. Los Angeles was the perfect hideout. It was as far away as you could get in the country. And if Edison's goons did show up, hey, Mexico was just a short drive south. So when you peel back all the layers of modern LA, this is what you find at its core. A manufactured dream sold with brilliant marketing. A city funded by a hidden ocean of oil, hydrated by a seriously controversial water heist, and then finally settled by filmmakers who were literally looking for an escape route. The story of Los Angeles is just a powerful reminder that the cities we live in, they often have these complex, gritty, and sometimes pretty dark histories bubbling just beneath the surface. It really proves that with enough money, enough ambition, and a whole lot of marketing, you can build a paradise pretty much anywhere, even in a place that probably shouldn't exist at all.